Today, I want to show you just how easy it is to make your own custom RC tires using two-part silicone. The best part is, you don't need any expensive equipment. No vacuum chamber, no vibration table, just a 3D printed mold, either FDM or SLA, and two-part silicone. Let's get started. First, put the mold together and secure it with clamps or a couple of rubber bands. The important thing is making sure both halves stay tightly closed while you pour the silicone. Before we start pouring, we need to know one thing. How much silicone do we actually need? Open up your slicer, drop in the tire model, no supports needed, and click Slice. Check the stats to find the exact volume in milliliters. For silicone, 1 milliliter is roughly 1 gram, so that'll tell you exactly how much you'll need. Just remember to add a little extra for the pouring funnel so you don't run short. Next, it's time to mix the silicone. I'm using a small digital scale and measuring out 36 grams of part A and 36 grams of part B for a total of 72 grams. I prefer measuring by weight because it's a bit more accurate, but if your silicone is meant to be mixed by volume, that works just fine too. To give the tire a realistic rubber look, I'm adding a little black pigment. The silicone I'm using is white, so without the pigment, the finished tire would be white. Now, mix everything thoroughly. Make sure to scrape the sides and bottom of the mixing cup so both parts are fully blended. I usually spend about 3 to 4 minutes mixing. Don't rush this step. Taking your time here helps the silicone cure properly. Once everything is fully mixed, let it sit for about 4 to 5 minutes. Exactly how long depends on the silicone you're using and the room temperature. The goal isn't to get rid of every single bubble, you just want the larger ones to rise to the surface before pouring, while the silicone is still well within its pot life. Once you're down to just a few small bubbles, you're ready to pour. Slowly pour the silicone into the mold in a thin, steady stream. Pouring slowly gives the silicone time to flow into all the fine details while letting any remaining air escape through the vent holes. For this mold, it usually takes me about 6 to 8 minutes to fill it completely. You could pour a little faster, but I like taking my time. It helps produce a cleaner tire with fewer bubbles. Keep an eye on the air vents. Once silicone starts coming out of every vent, you'll know the mold is completely full. If one of the vents stays dry, there's probably still an air pocket inside. Just keep adding silicone slowly until every vent starts to overflow. Now it's time to let the silicone cure. The manufacturer recommends a shorter cure time, but I usually leave it for about 10 hours, or just overnight. Giving it a little extra time helps make sure the tire is fully cured before taking it out of the mold. Once it's cured, remove the clamps and start separating the mold. The two halves are usually held together pretty tightly, so I like to use a small flat screwdriver to gently work my way around the mold. Apply a little pressure, move to the next tab, and keep going until the mold gradually starts to separate. As it loosens, you'll notice a larger gap forming, and eventually you'll be able to lift the top half off by hand. Next, remove the center sections from the tire, if you cast a hollow tire. If you cast a solid one, just grab the edge of the tire and carefully pull it out of the other half of the mold. Now it's time for a little cleanup. Remove the thin flash along the seam with your fingers. Then use a sharp hobby knife or razor blade to cut out the center plug. You don't need much pressure. Just use gentle back and forth strokes and let the blade do the work. Take your time and be careful. Finally, trim off the small pieces left by the vent holes with a pair of side cutters. At this point, the tire is ready to go on the wheel. I'm really happy with how these tires turned out. They have a nice, soft feel with just the right amount of flexibility. The lugs are well defined, and the silicone gives them excellent traction. In my experience, they actually grip better than many off-the-shelf RC tires, especially on rough terrain. If you'd like to make a set yourself, you'll find the links to the mold files in the description below. I'll also include the TPU tire files if you'd rather print the tires directly. But if you're after the best grip and the most realistic feel, I definitely recommend casting them in silicone. In the next videos, I'll be testing a more traditional closed mold casting method, using a syringe to inject the silicone instead of pouring it. I'll also be designing molds for custom tire inserts, so you'll be able to cast soft inserts that help the tire keep its shape and improve its performance. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next project.